Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan Bickford, and welcome back to CreateChaos, The Breakdown. Today we're talking about one of the wildest, most unexpected comeback stories in reality TV history, Todd and Julie Chrisley. Yes, those Chrisleys from Chrisley Knows Best have somehow gone from prison jumpsuits to presidential pardons to prepping a brand new show. And look, I'm not saying celebrity redemption arcs are new, we've seen it 100 times, but this one, it's giving reality TV resurrection with a side of fast food and federal forgiveness. Because let's be honest, how did we get from we were found guilty on all counts to we're back on Lifetime Network TV, baby, in under 3 years? So let's rewind the chaos, unpack the controversy, and break down what this so-called comeback really says about fame, forgiveness, and how far America will go to keep its favorite reality TV stars on screen. When Chrisley Knows Best premiered in 2014, it was this shiny Southern family meets Hollywood hybrid. Todd Chrisley was the quick-witted, over-the-top dad who ran the show, literally and figuratively. Julie was the calm, grounding mom. Their kids, Chase, Savannah, and Grayson, were all part of the family circus. They had big houses, big wardrobe, big personalities, and the perfect TV family energy that made you believe that their life was both aspirational and relatable. But like so many family reality setups before them, that gloss didn't last long. Behind the designer suits and one-liners, there were whispers. People questioned how the Chrisleys made their money. Todd always bragged about his real estate empire, but the math never really mathed. Then, in 2019, federal prosecutors finally dropped the bombshell. The Chrisleys were indicted for bank fraud and tax evasion. They were accused of taking millions in fraudulent loans, lying about income, and dodging taxes. Still, the family denied everything. Todd said it was all a setup by disgruntled former employees. The show went on, and fans kept watching. But in June 2022, the guilty verdict hit. Todd and Julie were sentenced to 12 and 7 years in federal prison. The curtain had officially fallen on the Chrisley empire, or so we thought. When Todd and Julie reported to prison in January 2023, it felt like a cultural full stop. Reality TV's royal family had become federal inmates. Todd was sent to the minimum security camp in Pensacola, Florida, while Julie went to one in Lexington, Kentucky. Their daughter, Savannah, who was in her mid-20s, suddenly became the face of the family. She started speaking out publicly, managing her siblings, and even taking care of her younger brother, Grayson, and niece, Chloe. And she did not hold back. Savannah said her parents were being treated unfairly, that conditions in prison were inhumane, that their facilities were filthy and infested, and that Julie didn't even have proper air conditioning during the summer months. She made multiple podcast appearances describing a system that was broken and cruel, and whether you believed her or not, the narrative she painted was clear. The Chrisleys were victims of a harsh and unjust system. But then, fast forward to 2025, and suddenly, Todd Chrisley's version of events sounded very different. But here's where the story goes full what is happening mode. In May 2025, President Trump announced a list of new federal pardons, and right there, sandwiched between political figures and celebrity allies, were Todd and Julie Chrisley. Just like that, poof, their sentences were wiped. A full presidential pardon means your conviction is erased from the record as if it never happened. So Todd and Julie walked out of prison free, clear, and ready for their next chapter. Now, depending on who you ask, this was either a miracle or a masterclass in celebrity PR and political timing. Because almost immediately after their release, we started hearing whispers of a new show. A reboot, a rebrand, a redemption arc, complete with family drama, forgiveness, and maybe even faith. But here's the thing, the comeback wasn't as smooth as the press releases made it sound. So remember when Savannah said her parents were living in squalor? Todd has since told a very different story. In one of his first interviews after being released, he said that prison life wasn't that bad. He claimed he ate Chick-fil-A, Culver's, Burger King, and pizza all while behind bars. Like, what kind of prison are we talking about here? According to Todd, guys had access to food from the outside. He even joked that he ate better there than at home sometimes. Naturally, the internet was not a fan of this. Fans were saying, wait, weren't you supposed to be living in terrible conditions? Others pointed out the contradiction. One moment, it's cruel and unusual punishment. The next, I had waffle fries on Wednesday. It's not just funny, it's fascinating, because it shows how fast a narrative can shift when public image is at stake. Was Savannah exaggerating to drum up sympathy, while Todd downplays it now to seem grateful and humble? Or are they simply rewriting history to fit a comeback story that feels palatable? Less crime, more lessons learned. It's not just about fast food, it's about storytelling and how celebrity rehabilitation works. So what's next for the Chrisleys? The family are already back on TV in a new Lifetime reality show. Todd said he apparently wants to show how God and forgiveness got them through their hardest time. Julie is said to be more cautious, less flashy, more reflective. Meanwhile, Savannah is producing, because of course she is. And here's the irony. For all their downfall, the Chrisleys have what every content creator dreams of, a compelling narrative. They went from TV stars to felons to free citizens with something to prove. And whether you like them or not, it's TV gold. The Chrisleys' comeback says a lot about us, the viewers. Because no matter how many reality stars fall from grace, we keep watching their redemption arcs. We crave them. We love the drama, the fall, the apology tour, the God Saved Me storyline. And when the dust settles, we're all locked in again. It's the same cycle we saw with countless others: scandal, silence, reinvention. The only thing that's really changed is the speed. The Chrisleys went from sentencing to comeback in record time. And that tells you that in today's media world, time doesn't heal reputations. Narrative does. As long as you can tell your story first, louder, and cleaner than your critics, you can survive almost anything. So what's the takeaway? Todd and Julie Chrisley are walking proof that fame and forgiveness have a strange relationship in American pop culture. Their new chapter might inspire some, it might infuriate others, but either way, we're watching. And that's the thing about toxic comfort. The Chrisley story might be messy, contradictory, even a little absurd, but it's also familiar. We tune in because it reminds us that no matter how chaotic life gets, someone else's chaos will always be louder, glossier, and just entertaining enough to make us forget our own for a while. I'm Jonathan Bickford, and this was CreateChaos, the Breakdown. If you liked this episode, hit subscribe, give it a like, and tell me which celebrity redemption arc you want me to break down next. Until then, stay curious, stay chaotic, and I'll see you next time.